Welcome, dear friends, to a tale of healing hearts and unexpected bonds. Have you ever offered your kindness to a stray, only to find you've been rescued yourself? Today's story will carry you through storms of doubt, through shadows of betrayal, and into the brilliant light of love's redemption. May every tear you shed water seeds of hope in your soul. And now I ask you, when was the last time you opened your heart to someone, or something, in need? Let us begin. Sarah Mahmood pressed Lucky's trembling paw into a puddle on the rain-slicked pavement, her cardigan clinging to her skin like a second drip-soaked coat. The stray's eyes were vast moons of fear and hunger. She knelt, breath clouding before her. I can't leave him here to die. She scooped the tiny frame into her arms. The dog's ribs scraped her forearm, sharp reminders of every harsh day he'd survived alone. Around them, the world blurred. The rumble of thunder, the hiss of tires on wet asphalt, the scent of damp earth rising like incense. Later that afternoon in the municipal shelter's exam room, Sarah frowned over Lucky's matted fur. She jabbed at a stubborn knot with trembling fingers. A door creaked. In strode Dr. Adrian Blackwood, a tall figure in crisp scrubs, shoulders squared like an unapproachable fortress. His gray eyes, sharp as flint, assessed Lucky, then her, with clear disdain. "Don't tug so hard," he said, voice cool. Sarah glanced up. "I'm doing my best." He reached a gloved hand to steady the comb. "This isn't a plaything." Her lip quivered. "He's been through hell. He deserves—" Adrian's jaw clenched. "Deserves what? A hero? You? Let me handle it." Their gazes locked, her cheeks flaming under his unwavering stare. There was friction here, yes, but also something electric, as if their souls recognized a reflection neither would admit. When the shelter clerk handed Sarah the foster paperwork, she blinked at the signature line. Adrian Blackwood? Why? Is his name here? He leaned over, breath cool on her neck. "I'm the legal owner. I loan the rescue program a portion of my trust fund. I handle the vet bills." Sarah frowned, scanning fine print. "But it says I'm responsible for all care for 30 days, under his legal guardianship." Adrian's lips quirked into an almost smile. "Consider it a temporary contract. You care for Lucky. I cover the costs. Simple enough." Her heart thumped, not with fear alone, but with a curious excitement. That evening, Sarah lay awake on her small sofa, Lucky curled against her side, whiskers tickling her elbow. A knock echoed. She opened the door to find Adrian, drenched, umbrella in hand, rain dripping from his hair like liquid pearls. "I came for him," he said quietly. Sarah's stomach twisted. "He's safe here." She patted the dog's soft back. His fur, now clean and warm, smelled faintly of lavender shampoo. He stepped in, surveying the cramped apartment with a reluctant respect. She noticed the faint click of a pocket knife as he extracted a small item from his coat. He flipped it open, a brass dog tag, engraved with the Blackwood family crest, and a microchip code beneath. Her fingers shook as she reached for it. This was inside his collar? Adrian nodded, eyes fixed on Lucky's upturned face. "It belonged to my brother's dog. Gave him a home 10 years ago. Then—" He swallowed. He vanished. Sarah's breath caught. The dog whose life she'd just saved held secrets far older and far darker than she could imagine. Morning sun filtered through gauzy curtains, painting Sarah's living room in honeyed hues. Lucky stretched, then padded over to her lap. She smiled, brushing a tuft of fur from his ear. Across town, Adrian watched from the manor's wrought iron gates as his personal driver, James, unloaded crates of dog food and blankets. He closed, his eyes inhaling the scent of fresh linen mixed with the faint tang of oil from his car. She cares for him as if he were her own child. That evening, Adrian slipped into Sarah's hallway just as she lifted Lucky into his crate. He cleared his throat. "Why do you do this?" he asked quietly. Sarah paused, eyes soft. "Because no one else did. Because kindness costs little and gives everything." A soft chime at Sarah's door interrupted the gentle moment. She opened it to find a sleek envelope, black wax sealed with the crest of Blackwood Enterprises. Puzzled, she sliced it open. Inside lay a photocopy of a will, stamped with what looked like Adrian's signature. The clause read, "Foster caregiver must vacate Blackwood Manor and terminate all contact within 7 days." Her breath hitched. She looked up to see Adrian's jaw tighten as he took the papers. "This isn't mine," he said, voice low. Rage flickered behind his gray eyes. Sarah's heart stuttered. Is she a pawn in someone else's game? Over the next days, Adrian found reasons to linger at Sarah's, to drop off prescriptions for Lucky, to consult on his diet, to retrieve a misplaced collar. Each visit chipped away at his icy reserve. One afternoon, Sarah led him into the tiny kitchen, where the air smelled of cinnamon and fresh bread. She handed him a steaming mug of tea. "Your charities?" she asked, nodding toward a folder on the counter. He sighed, fingers brushing the leather binding. "I anonymously fund orphanages. My father believed strength meant showing no mercy." Sarah's eyes misted. "Your secret kindness? It's greater courage than any empire." His chest constricted. "You see the good in me, even when I can't." Her words are a balm I never knew I needed. Later that night, Sarah sat by Lucky's crate, scanning his microchip number on her phone. The rescue database returned a chilling note. Previous: shelter burned to ashes in 2015. 12 dogs perished. Her heart pounded as she reread the entry. The shelter's name was Mahmood Haven, her own family's animal sanctuary. Flames crackled in her memory. Her father's screams, her mother's tears, the acrid scent of smoke forever seared in her lungs. She pressed a hand to her mouth. Lucky was my family's dog. The truth slammed into her like a falling star. Adrian's family had owned the property, where her childhood home once stood. Before she could share her discovery, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Return Lucky to Blackwood Manor immediately." Or, "Face charges in the accidental death of a child. Evidence enclosed." Attached was a blurred photograph. Lucky in the street, standing over a crumpled toy car, its smeared paint eerily resembling blood. Sarah's world tilted. She stared at Lucky's innocent eyes, then at the image. Late dusk draped the old Mahmood Haven in violet shadows. Sarah slipped inside with Lucky at her heels, the acrid scent of smoke curling through the air. A shriek tore through the night. Metal screeched. Flames licked the wooden beams, and the shelter's roof groaned under their assault. Panic pounded her chest as she sprinted forward, Lucky's frantic barking echoing her dread. "I won't lose them. Not again." She fumbled with the padlock on the kennel door, her fingers slick with sweat as sparks rained down. Flames roared behind her, scorching the air. Finally, the lock gave. She yanked the gate open and scooped Lucky into her arms, his fur singed around one ear. A sudden crash. A burning beam collapsed mere feet away. Sarah stumbled back, twisting an ankle. Lucky whimpered, pressing close. A strong hand seized her shoulder. She looked up into Adrian's gray eyes, bright with urgency. He tossed her a towel, then charged forward into the inferno without hesitation. He's risking everything. Moments later, he emerged, coughing, dragging drenched blankets. But his foot snagged on charred floorboards. He fell heavily. Sarah screamed and lunged, but a fresh wave of heat drove her back. Stay with me, she cried, rushing to his side as he clutched his side, blood darkening his scrubs. This can't be happening. The sterile white of the hospital was a harsh contrast to the fiery chaos outside. Sarah sat beside Adrian's bed, Lucky curled at her feet, the hush punctuated only by his labored breaths. A detective appeared, badge gleaming. Ms. Mahmood? About the shelter fire. Sarah's heart plummeted. She straightened, voice firm. It was my fault. I left a lantern burning too close to the curtains. The detective exchanged a look with a uniformed officer. We'll note that. No charges, but insurance won't cover all damages. Sarah nodded, swallowing her guilt. If it protects him, I'll bear it. Across town, Victoria watched from her sleek office, lips curved in triumph as she read the report. She'll take the fall, and so will he. Adrian's monitor alarm chimed softly. He was slipping into a deep sedation, coma induced to heal internal injuries. Sarah's fingers trembled as she clutched his hand. He might never wake. Victoria's next message arrived on Sarah's phone, a cold injunction. Return Lucky, or I'll leak your confession about the shelter's faulty wiring to the press. Adrian Blackwood's reputation and your freedom will be ruined. Sarah pressed her palm to her mouth. The weight of her promise and the threat crushed her spirit. How can love survive when truth is a weapon? Night after night, Sarah sat vigil, recounting memories to the sleeping man. The first time she'd rescued Lucky from floods, the warmth of his fur against her cheek, the peace she found in those silent moments. One evening, Adrian's eyelids fluttered. He mumbled, voice distant. Lucky, my friend. Where are you? Sarah leaned close, heart racing. He remembers. He sighed, drifting back. You saved me. When I was lost. Sarah's breath caught. In his coma dreams, he was speaking to her. The girl who, a decade ago, comforted a frightened boy on the veranda of Mahmood Haven, both clutching a trembling puppy. We were childhood friends. She pressed her hand to her chest, tears slipping. Free. All this time, fate wove us together. At midnight, Sarah's phone buzzed. A video file from an unknown sender. Hands shaking, she opened it. Adrian awake in his hospital bed, eyes glassy with pain. He spoke in a trembling voice. Victoria, you betrayed me. How could you, Sarah? But the image wavered, and the voice shifted, too precise, too cold. Sarah's blood ran cold as she realized the truth. Victoria had doctored this moment to deepen the chasm between them. Lucky whimpered, nuzzling her hand. Sarah rose, determination igniting her tears. A golden dawn filtered through the hospital, blinds as Sarah slipped quietly into Adrian's room, Lucky trotting by her side. She carried a small USB drive, her last weapon against Victoria's lies. He deserves the unvarnished truth, she thought, tracing the rhythm of his breathing. At her touch, Adrian's eyelids fluttered. His gray eyes focused on hers, confusion, mingled with pain. Sarah swallowed. Adrian, I have something to show you. She inserted the drive into the bedside monitor. A video began, raw footage from the night of his awakening, captured by an innocent visitor's phone. There was Adrian, groggy but clear, speaking not of betrayal, but of relief. Sarah, you stood by me when I couldn't stand. Your courage saved my life. The frame cut to Victoria at her office desk, manipulating the file's audio track. The camera panned, exposing her hands on the keyboard, her face gleaming with triumph. Adrian's breath caught. Sarah reached out, brushing a stray lock of hair from his forehead. She lied to you, Sarah whispered. She wanted to keep us apart. Please believe me. Tears glistened in his eyes as the truth washed over him. His scars, emotional and physical, softened under the warmth of her conviction. 2 days later, the rescue shelter's annual gala brimmed with candlelight and soft music. Guests in evening attire chatted beneath crystal chandeliers, unaware of the storm about to break. Sarah stood near the entrance with Lucky at her feet when the doors swung open. Crutches under his arms, Adrian emerged, his shirt stained with bandages. The crowd hushed. He paused, gaze locking on Sarah, her hair loose, eyes bright with unshed tears. He stepped forward, every limp ignored by the force of his will. At center, stage, he dropped the crutches, kneeling in the candlelight. Heart pounding, Sarah crossed the distance. Sarah Mahmoud. His voice, though hoarse, carried across the room. You rescued more than a stray dog. You rescued a broken man. You taught me that kindness is stronger than fear, that love endures beyond any contract or lie. He reached into his jacket and drew a simple ring, etched with 2 interlocking paws. Will you continue this journey with me as my partner in life, love, and rescue? Tears brimmed as Sarah knelt beside him. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. Cheers erupted. Lucky barked, circling them, as Adrian gently slipped the ring onto Sarah's finger. In the back office, Victoria's phone buzzed with urgent messages, human resources notices, press inquiries, legal summons. Security escorted her out as guests applauded the happy couple. Days later, detectives charged Victoria with wiretapping, arson conspiracy, and fraud. Her empire crumbled. The courtroom was packed with former colleagues turned witnesses. Greed and betrayal cannot stand against truth and compassion. Sarah reflected when she heard the verdict. Guilty on all counts. Under the soaring arches of the newly rebuilt Mahmoud Haven, Sarah and Adrian stood hand in hand as Lucky bounded through the green paddocks. Volunteers cheered, children laughed, and the scent of fresh grass mingled with the warmth of spring. Sarah looked to Adrian, who gently brushed a strand of hair from her face. Our story proves that true love isn't about contracts or convenience. It's about seeing the soul beneath the scars and choosing hope over fear. She smiled, tilting her head. Kindness is the greatest inheritance we can leave, one rescued heart at a time. Love rescues the soul. Always. Lucky barked twice and darted behind Sarah, returning with a small envelope tied to his collar. She opened it to find an ultrasound photo, her hand trembling with joy. A new life was on the way, promising another miracle born of love's redemptive power. Did this story touch your heart? Subscribe for more tales of unexpected rescues and share your own stories of love's surprises below. Thank you for joining Sarah, Adrian, and Lucky on their journey from loneliness to love's warm embrace. If this tale of unexpected rescues and second chances moved your heart, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Swoon Stories for more heartfelt romance dramas every week. Hit to turn on notifications, so you'll never miss a moment when love finds you in the most surprising places. Share your thoughts below. Have you ever rescued a pet who rescued you back? Until next time, may your days be filled with kindness, and may your heart always find its way home.